As India continued to celebrate the heroics of the Indian Olympic contingent in the Tokyo Games, three hockey stars have announced retirement from the sport. The two icons from India's medal-winning hockey team in Tokyo, Rupinder Pal Singh and Birendra Lakra, and forward SV Sunil have called it quits. Hello and welcome to News 9. I am Shubhayan Chakravarti, joined by News 9 sports editor and author Sandeep Mishra. Three back-to-back retirements, Sandeep. Does it come as a surprise?
No, not really. I think if there was something called the perfect retirement, I think this was it. I expected, and whatever talks we used to have just after the Tokyo Games with a lot of players and administrators and coaches and all, we always used to figure out who's the one who's going to be retiring at the top.
Yeah.
So when I say top, I completely clearly mean the bronze medal, because it can't get better. 41 years, you're back on the podium. So Rupinder's and Lakra's, it could be different factors. But I think these are two perfect retirements. I'm a little sad about Sunil because I've been seeing him from a junior, how he scaled and how he came up. You could have people who can criticize a particular player, but I do feel, I think it's a little sad for him to go out this way when he may have been part of the team.
Yeah, he did miss out on the bus for Tokyo, but we'll come to SV Sunil later on. Coming to Rupinder Pal Singh, India's best drag flicker by a mile. How do you replace a character like him, a player like him, a quality player like him in the dressing room?
It's difficult. You have to look at him from two areas. One is a player. Because first you have to always understand that hockey being so fast, you need a field player. Somebody who defends, goes up and then falls back. When I say falls back, it means purely counterattacks. I think there he was slightly lacking. If you really look at from 1 to 10, if you want to really judge him as a field player, you probably want to put him at 7. There are a lot of players who can be at 8 and 9. But what really takes him above all of that is his flicking, the way he used to do the penalty corner flicks. And honestly, he's one of the most improved players in that department. His strokes, no goalkeeper, in the hockey fraternity, in the hockey world, or whatever you can call it, can stop them. So I think that's the big asset that you're going to be missing. The flicking and the strokes you're going to really miss. You will have somebody who can come up as a player, as a field hockey player, as a deep defender. But the penalty flicking is what is really going to cost us for at least a year before you find someone.
Absolutely, scored 4 important goals in the Tokyo Games, including the one against Germany. And Rupinder will be missed in the Indian dressing room. But coming to Birendra Lakra, another icon in that defensive line, he was one of the vice captains of that hockey contingent. So how do you replace a leader like Birendra Lakra, who has been around for a while now?
I think Lakra's asset was not only deep defending, his asset was his intelligence. His asset was that even in confined spaces, and in hockey, invariably you get into confined spaces in the circle where the ball shouldn't hit your feet because that leads up to a penalty corner. He was brilliant. He was, as we say, he could stitch anything together. He can put forward 3, 4, 5, 6 dribbles in the circle, and your heart is going to be pumping up and down thinking this guy's, what is he trying to do? But his intelligence was always, he knew where to take the ball, from which angle, and then that whole pass up front. I think that's one area that we really want to miss with Lakra. Sometimes it's very difficult to have a defender who's intelligent. You have a defender who's aggressive. You have a defender who's belligerent, going in, trying to figure out a particular forward. But here was a guy who would wait for a forward to come in and then take the ball away so calmly that the forward himself was so dazzled up that he used to ask, how the hell did you take it? And the only guy I can compare him is at this moment of time is with former captain Birendra Singh. Birendra had a different way of playing. But Lakra's was intelligence, accuracy, focus. The aggressive was not there. He wasn't the aggressive defender. I think that's where you want to miss somebody who had that calmness around him.
Absolutely, Sandeep. 2 of India's icons, 2 of India's talisman in that defensive line are heading out. So will it be a difficulty? Will it be a tough task for the Indian hockey management and the team leaders to replace these 2 players in that lineup?
Hugely. I think a team gets used to playing in a particular format. A coach gets used to relying on a particular player. Lakra was a player you could rely on. You could put him at 5 minutes, you're leading 2-1, you got 3 minutes to go in a game, and in a game as fast as hockey, where even we saw in the bronze medal match how things were going up and down until the last second. But he was a guy who could stitch things up. We're going to miss that. Rupinder Pal Singh was the kind of a person who could get you the flicks in. Who could, suddenly you are in the 59th minute, you are in the 58th minute, and you need somebody to put in a flick. You could rely on Rupinder. But having said that, I think the Junior World Cup that's coming up now, I think that's where the answers are. If you're going to get some players out from there and then build them up, but the replacement takes a transition. It takes 4 years. So you will have to wait for a couple of years, 3 years, 4 years before you can find somebody of that stature.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we will have a look at the journey of Birendra Lakra, what he thinks about the Tokyo Olympics, as well as Rupinder Pal Singh, because these two players will go down as two of the icons of Indian hockey fraternity. Celebrations are over. The euphoria around winning an Olympic hockey medal after 41 years is fading gradually. The players are settling down, introspection and retrospection have begun. Indian hockey will enter a new phase in the run-up to two major events in the Asian Games in Hangzhou, China and the Birmingham Commonwealth Games. Mainstay in the defense line and vice-captain of the team at the Tokyo Games, Birendra Lakra has decided to pass on the baton. He walks out gracefully after being with the Indian national team for 9 years. The seasoned pro informed Hockey India about his plans and left the rest to the governing body. The news was then shared on Hockey India's Twitter handle. 201 caps, Olympic bronze medalist, a solid defender and one of the most influential men's hockey figures, the Odisha star has announced his retirement from the national team. Happy retirement, Birendra Lakra, tweeted Hockey India. Lakra's illustrious career spanning 201 international caps for India is decorated with an Olympics medal, India's first in 41 years since the 1980 Moscow Games triumph. An Asian Games gold at Incheon in 2014 and bronze at Jakarta. A silver medal at 2013 Asia Cup in Ipoh, 2018 Champions Trophy silver in 2018 and the 2018 Glasgow Commonwealth Games silver medal. Lakra finally decides to walk out on a high, with the Tokyo 2020 bronze being the icing on the cake.
Rupinder Pal Singh has finally announced to walk away from the international hockey scene. Proud, content, happy and on a high, with a sense of having achieved it all. Read his parting shot. The man is walking out tall, with all major goals accomplished and at the right time to pass the ball to the next generation champions.
I believe it is time for me to make way for young and talented players to experience every great joy I have felt in these last 13 years of representing India. I am leaving the team happy and content as have conquered the greatest dream, which was to win an Olympian medal for India.
Considered as one of the best drag flickers in the country, Rupinder Pal had started his international journey with the 2010 Sultan Ajlan Shah Cup. For over a decade, he remained a vital cog in India's backline and a dependable source for penalty corner conversions. Having the honour of donning Hockey India jersey in 223 matches, Rupinder Pal leaves the field with the hockey bronze being the pinnacle of his decorated career. Being on the international scene for 11 years, the 6'4" towering personality of Indian hockey has in his possession an Asian Games gold from Incheon in 2014 and the bronze from Jakarta 4 years later, a silver medal from 2013 Asia Cup in Ipoh, and the 2018 Glasgow Commonwealth Games silver medal among a host of others to count. Approaching his 31st birthday in less than 2 months, Rupinder Pal could have easily stayed around for the Asian Games and Commonwealth Games as well. But he decides to leave the scene for the younger generation while he enjoys the best time of his international career.
Sandeep, coming back to SV Sunil, an unfortunate case of missing out from the Tokyo bus there, but a 14-year-long career. He scored 72 goals in 264 matches, a veteran striker. It was an unfortunate case of him missing out from the bus, right?
Injuries to a large extent, but it still puzzles me as to when you can have rolling substitutions all over the place. You putting in players for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, even 4 minutes is sky high in terms of today's modern hockey. Why couldn't you get Sunil into the team? Now, the question is, I can always have question marks. You can have, the coach can have, why are you asking why? My point is, he has speed, he has skill. In the Belgium match, I'm very clear about it. Third quarter, if you had somebody like Sunil who had the ball or who has thrown the ball with his speed and he goes all the way up till the striking circle of Belgium, you have the entire defense moving back. The gaps created are massive. So I couldn't figure out how the format was that you could take a Shamsher, and this is no criticism of a 21, 22-year-old. If you could take a Shamsher who lacks speed but has precision, why not take Sunil who has speed and precision? So that's where it puzzled me, and as I said, I'm sad about his retirement because I think he should have gone out with a medal and a podium finish.
Better podium finish, but that is sport, right? Thank you so much, Sandeep, for your insights on these three icons of the hockey game. In the world of sports, players come and go. Many leave a lasting impact and some don't. India will forever remember the efforts and achievements of Rupinder Pal Singh, Birendra Lakra and SV Sunil. And the trio, they will hope India continue to achieve many more laurels in the field of hockey. That's it for today's show. For more news and updates, like, share and subscribe to News9.